The public school system. My father challenged its integrity for decades. Why do they wait until the last day of school to pass or fail you? Why wait until the very last day for the final exam? My father learned that one of the fastest, easiest, and most powerful learning methods in the world is to simply give everyone the final exam on the first day of school as an open book exam, where each question gives the page numbers in the book where to find the answers. Everyone can simply look up the answers and write them down, and everybody makes an A. This method of learning has been a proven method of learning for decades as one of the most powerful ways in the world to learn. So why wait until the last day to give what they call a final exam? Because the public school system is set up to simply pass or fail you, as if their main goal is to pass or fail you, above actually teaching you. We've been giving our final exams on the first day of school for about 40 years now, and every single person who has completed it has made an A, and they actually learn the material just as good, if not better, looking up the answers and writing them down. My father had his master's in public school administration, had an opportunity to become principal and superintendent, paid vacations every summer, and he gave it all up. He gave it all up after he discovered many of the weaknesses of the public school system. He knew someone had to get the true and correct information out to people. From the start, since he knew God was giving him the answers to life and death, he never charged admission. He just prayed for God's help to sustain him. He took a big leap of faith and was sustained by one miracle after another after another. When my father was brought in by the top medical lymphologists in the world, when they saw him, they accepted him as the first non-medical doctor in the world to become a member of their organization. When they saw the way he was talking and what he had discovered, they said, "We've been so busy looking down, studying the little details, we never bothered to look up to see the big picture." How we do one thing is how we do most things. There's a lot of truth to that. The public schools and other systems are no exception to this rule. By eliminating key areas of information from the public schools, the entire system has been infected. Seth Riggs is considered the greatest vocal coach in our modern time. He was the vocal coach for Michael Jackson and has coached Stevie Wonder, Barbra Streisand, and Ray Charles. The first top university he did vocal training with ruined his voice. The second top university ruined his voice further. And the third top university ruined his voice even further. His personal journey, as he tells it, led him through a rather rough public school experience in the development of his own voice. Just as none of the papers hanging on the walls of doctors' offices actually perform any healing miracles for us, Seth's master's degrees did not help his voice recover at all from training his voice wrong. Through all that, he never lost his passionate desire to sing beautifully. He kept going to the cathedral and taking his petition to God to help in finding his voice. And one day, the miracle came. Seth was inspired with the knowledge and gift of voice. As I sat through a session he did with a group of several students in his Hollywood home, he demonstrated his coaching ability with one student after another, all with miraculous results. When he first listened to the student sing, he would instantly know what was wrong and what the remedy was. He demonstrated perfect knowledge in describing the anatomy and physiology of what the problem and solution was with each student in a way that was so advanced that it would also go right over the heads of just about everyone listening. But I know he was making it just as simple as he could make it for us. Then he would ask the student to sing in a specific way, and as soon as they were done, the miracle was done. That particular problem of their voice was solved. Vocal coach Deborah Bonner was partnered with Seth Riggs for 15 years and still takes her groups to him. I thought she was the most intuitive and best vocal coach I'd ever seen until she introduced us to Seth and gave him the honor and recognition he deserved. And of course, both Deborah and Seth give the greatest honor to God. That greatness rubs off. It rubs off from great people. Deborah is an amazing example of integrity and the level of empowerment that happens while giving credit where credit is due. And she may be even better than Seth in some of her own special intuitive ways, although she is very humble about it. Watching such rare mastery with vocal coaching instantly reminded me of the similarities of how my father and I have worked with people's health issues. Much of the science may go right over the beginners' heads, but when we show them the simple and easy solutions, miracles just happen.